What's up, everybody? Dope666 here. Today we've got my July 2022 horror movie update. And today's soundtrack is my buddies in Corpse Maker. It's a technical death metal from the San Diego Escondido area. Yeah, enjoy that. But I have a special treat for you guys today in honor of summer camp slasher season as it is. I've decided to do a strictly 80s horror update. So everything you see here is from the 80s. I'm very excited to talk about it. It's my favorite period of horror. And I've been wanting to do something like this for a while anyways. So yeah, let's just get right into it. You guys know how I like to start it up first. So cheers. And cheers once again, guys. A little Rolling Rock. Beautiful. Let's get right into it, guys. First title we have here is Horror House on Highway 5. I believe this came out in 1985, but it doesn't say on here, so I'm not really sure. Without a doubt, easily the worst movie in this update. This movie is absolutely bonkers and all over the place and incohesive, and I don't really know what to make of it. You know, it's supposed to be a slasher movie, but it's got elements of that, but it's such a mess that, you know, I really don't know what's going on. I don't really understand the characters for the most part. I don't know. It had been on my list for a long time and I finally got it. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of a slight disappointment. I could have never imagined it being this bad, but there you go. So, steer clear if you don't really like bad stuff. I still had fun with it. Alright, speaking of bad stuff, we have Flesheating Mothers from 1988. This one's pretty cheesy. You know, there's a lot of good stuff to be had. It's not like it's a shot on video or anything. It's got a little bit more budget than that, I think, but very close, you know, riding the line of that micro-budget sort of area. But this is really fun. This is a Films Around the World DVD. I think that these are like sort of older. I could be wrong though, but I've been picking up a few of these. Yeah, Flesheating Mothers. Not exactly one that's been on my list for a long time. Just kind of happened upon it, and I had some fun. It wasn't bad. Okay, my buddy Dan the Sandman, he fucking hates this movie, but I think he still secretly loves it. It's pretty dumb. It's pretty bad slashers. Rocktober Blood from... I believe this one's from 86, but it could be from 87, 88. You know, it may be even earlier. I think it might be 84, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it. But, regardless, this is a really, really strange, like, not scary at all slasher film. Sort of supernatural in a way, but, you know, just done so poorly that it doesn't come across in that way, so, yeah. I would say only for the diehards for this as well. Rocktober Blood. Okay, we got some cool stuff here. Got 4 releases from TrashPalace.com that I ordered some time back. We have Shadows of the Mind from 1980. This is a really, really, really dry slasher movie / character study. I don't know. This movie is very, very obscure. I can't find a lot of information on it for one thing. And like I said, it's very, very dry. There are some kills, and you know, they're not bad, but really this movie is just, it's just not quite enough of the formula that I'm seeking. But I'm still very happy to own it. You know, I've already watched it a few times, and it's grown on me since the first viewing, so it's certainly not bad. Okay. This one is very, very, very bad. From 1985, we have Attack of the Beast Creatures. This movie is similar to Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black in that it has these little creatures, like the little tiki monster thing that was trying to kill her in that movie, except this is an island full of the little fuckers. So, here, I'll let you see it back. You can see that they look pretty similar to the other film. This is a lot of fun, though, still, like, very, very bad micro-budget film. But if you just let yourself go, like, it's really, really fun. I thought this one was pretty entertaining. I had some laughs. Well worth picking up. Okay. Another one for Trash Palace here, we have Witch Story from 1989. And, you know, I could sum this one up basically by saying that this is basically an Italian Night of the Demons ripoff. It kind of goes in its own direction here and there, but, you know, for what it is, it's like, you know, a bunch of people in a house getting possessed and starting to kill each other and whatnot. I thought it wasn't bad. Certainly pulls its punches and compared to other films of the nature, you know, in the same era, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good, you know. Witch Story was definitely one that was on my list for a long time too. It's gone by a lot of different names. I can't think of them at this point, but I was very happy to see that Trash Palace had it, so if you're looking for this Italian, you know, flick, definitely check out the website there. I'll have that linked in the description. Okay, last one for TrashPalace.com, guys. We have a TV movie from 1982 called, Don't Go to Sleep. This movie is actually really, really, really good. I'm a big fan of 70s and 80s TV horror films, and this one's no exception. I thought that this one had a lot of really creepy elements. It's just cheesy enough so that it can still sort of take itself serious, you know, like, I don't know, the acting is bad at spots, but I think that it's actually a pretty crushing family dynamic in this film, and yeah, I have no complaints. One of the better TV films I've picked up in a long time. Okay, we're gonna move into some Blu-rays, guys. I know it's cliche, but you guys know how it is. I'm trying to find every edition of of all at least the first 8 films, but I'm gonna try and do all of them eventually. But here's the Blu-ray for the first Friday the 13th for 1980. I'm not going to talk too much about this, just showing that I did acquire this Blu-ray, and it's going in the collection. And that's about it. Alright, a couple other things from 1980. We have the 4K and Blu-ray combo pack, collector's edition of the Howling Joe Dante film. Legendary werewolf movie. Not going to talk too much about this either because I've talked about it many times in the past. Just wanted to show you guys that, you know, this upgrade is out there. It's really, really cool. Got lots of extras on it. The Howling is one of my favorite films of all time, so I had to go and fucking grab it. So I suggest you do the same. Okay. This next one is also from 1980. It is a really schlocky alien film called Without Warning. And yeah, it's very, very cheesy. I'd still put it in the same vein as like Friday the 13th. It kind of plays like a slasher film from the late 70s, the way that Friday the 13th does, but, you know, it's an alien instead. I would say it's definitely a lot hokier, a lot stupider, but, you know, if you're willing to cut back, just throw on, you know, something cheesy. This one, I feel, is like a really, really fun one for sure. Like, still got a lot of good, you know, stuff going for it. It's got some gore, it's got some cool kills. The alien looks pretty badass, so, you know, no complaints. Without Warning, good film, at least I thought. Scream Factory still doing the Lord's work. Okay, we have got a pair of 80s Western horror films. I used to see one of these, like at the grocery store video rental, you know, checkout line, whatever, when I'd be waiting for my parents to pay for groceries or something when I was a super young kid. It's not the same cover, but it's Ghost Town, and this one comes from 1988. This one, it's like way more supernatural. Like, I feel like the villain is really, really creepy in this one. Yeah, I actually really like this one. Like, it definitely falls off and gets really, really cheesy, like a lot of late 80s films do, but still, really cool to check that out after knowing about it for so long. And then, in the process of looking for that film, I actually happened upon Ghost Riders from 1987, an equally cheesy Western horror film, slightly less supernatural, at least, you know, imagery-wise. This one definitely gets a little more dry in my opinion, but I enjoyed them both, you know, like, they definitely just have that cheesy 80s, early 90s sort of mood about them, so, yeah. Tread lightly if you're looking for something really, really scary. I thought that they were just fun. Okay. When did this one come out? I believe Xtro came out in 1985, I could be wrong. Alright, well, anyways. We have Xtro, great alien flick, really, really cheesy at times, but I think one of the more effective alien films of the time. Yeah, I've been after this one for a very, very long time. Yeah, had to fucking basically just break down the walls and order from across the pond there. This is an import, as you can see by the rating system here. But yeah, I think this is a UK import, and it's got a new cut on it from 2018, like a director's cut. So there's I think there's 3 cuts on this particular edition. So excited to whittle my way through the special features and check out all the differences in the cuts. But yeah, really solid 80s alien flick. Alright, last Blu-ray for the update, guys. We have a really, really just ripe, nasty one here. We have Necromantic from 1987. As you can see, it says, groundbreakingly gruesome, the first erotic film for necrophiles. This movie pulls no punches. It's fucking disgusting for sure. If you are not into, necrophilia, or at least, obviously no one, or at least not many people, are truly into necrophilia. But if you're looking for a very disturbing, strange, fucked up film, look no further. I will say, you're going to have to do with the subtitles. The film is in German, and there is no dub track. It's only subtitles. But I think that it doesn't really make much of a difference. This film is absolutely gruesome. And, yeah, well worth checking out for any gorehound or just, 80s horror head, in general. So, happy to own that one, finally. Been after Necromantic for a very long time as well. Okay, we have, as we break back into the DVDs, Sheets of Gore from 1984 from Todd Sheets. These are his early short films, and they're just a bunch of splattery, like I said, short flicks. They set up some gore effects, wrote a teensy tiny little storyline, and then boom, hacked some fucking heads off and made a lot of artery spray and whatnot. And it's shot on video, so you're gonna get what you're gonna get. If you're not about shot on video, I suggest you steer clear, but I thought that this was really fun. I'm a big fan of Todd Sheets anyways. I've got all 3 zombie bloodbath movies. So yeah, SRS is really, really putting out a lot of cool stuff these days, and yeah, had to scoop this one as well. Got a Massacre video DVD next. We have Night Terror. It's like a psychological, weird character study slasher movie. Not one of the best that I've seen. Massacre Video, I feel like they put out a lot of really dry flicks, in my opinion, a lot of the time. I do like them. It's just they give you such cool artwork, and it is a reversible artwork too. I'm sure you can see if I take the disc out that the other artwork looks a lot more retro. But yeah, I don't know. This one, as far as shot on video stuff goes, this one was a teensy bit dry for my taste, but I still really liked it. I'm sure it'll grow on me in the future. This one right here, another SRS release from 1986. This one started out really weird and serious, and then it kind of devolves into this whimsical, childish, sort of strange fucking slasher movie that abides by these strange rules, everyone has to die a certain way, I guess. I don't know. I've been after Truth or Dare for a long time. I didn't really see this type of film coming when I, started to seek it out, but now that I have it, I've watched it a few times. The first time it was definitely a little off-putting, but after a few repeated watches, it's starting to grow on me. It definitely plays more like a shot on video sort of thing. I would say the production value is really, really similar to City and Panic. You got your mid-80s slasher that kind of looks more late 80s here and feels more late 80s as far as the acting and effects goes, but still, lots of fun. Very happy to have it. Okay, you guys know I could not do an 80s horror movie update without getting some Italian stuff going on. So we have Zombie Holocaust. This one is by Marino Girolami. Not a name that I am super versed in, but I know that I have always been after Zombie Holocaust at the very least. I'm sure he's done some other films that I know of. I just can't think them off the top of my head. But this one bears a very, very strong resemblance to 1981's Burial Ground, The Nights of Terror. And, it's just your I wouldn't say run-of-the-mill, it's just your standard Italian zombie flick from the 80s, and it's got all the goods, everything you're looking for, tons of gore, tons of horrific undead, madness, and yeah, I couldn't say enough about it. My buddy Jesse Midnight Crawler actually tipped me off to this copy. It was really cheap on eBay, so I scooped it up some time back, and there it is. Happy to have it. I happened upon this one at a pawn shop recently. We're going to keep it Italian here with my favorite director of all time, Dario Argento's Opera, 1987. This one is like, he started to diverge from the giallo style quite a bit in the late 70s. I feel like this one definitely isn't shirking all the new splattery supernatural stuff that he had going on later in the, late 70s, early 80s. But I feel like it's more of a return to the giallo style in a way. It's definitely, lots of murder mystery whodunit themes here in comparison to, say Suspiria or Inferno. But I really liked it. I've always been a big fan of his giallo stuff, his earlier work, so this one is right in the middle for me, and yeah, couldn't be happier to own that one finally. Okay, we have got a full moon release of Intruder from I believe this one is from 87 too, but I could be wrong. This is like a grocery store slasher movie. It's got, Bruce Campbell in it at the very end, and Sam Raimi in it as well. But yeah, very early full moon, like right after the death of, this very well may be an Empire, film still. But I think it might be one of the first full moon films too. I'm not really sure. All I know is that it's definitely one of the very strongest slashers I've ever seen. A little cheesy with the dialogue and acting at the beginning, but I think the setup is just fine. It's obviously not a super huge budget film, but it doesn't show the frayed ends so well so much as in my opinion. I think that it's a pretty sharp, well-paced, and pretty brutal slasher flick. There's some really creative, horrific depth in this film, and yeah, I was super excited to finally check it out. It did not disappoint at all. I urge all of you, if you're a slasher flick fan, to go check out Intruder if you have not. And that brings me to the last flick in this update, guys. It is one more slasher film from 1982. This one is really, really weird and disturbing. It's also fairly brutal. The body count is fairly low for a slasher from the 80s, but it's just so damn disturbing. We have Unhinged. This movie's, got some sexual repression themes and, all sorts of strangeness, psychological madness going on. My buddy Keon from, I originally know him from Putrid Tomb, but he plays in tons of death metal bands in the San Diego area. He turned me onto this flick, actually. When he posted about it, I went and looked it up on eBay, and it was fairly cheap. So, yeah, had to go swing this one as well, and it did not disappoint. I have watched this. I've only had it like a few weeks, and I must have watched it already like 8 or 9 times right now, already. So, yeah, I couldn't recommend it, enough to the 80s slasher fans that are out there watching. So yeah, go check it out. Unhinged, really great flick. And that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed the soundtrack. We have Corpse Maker, like I said, my buddies from San Diego. We're gonna have their music links and all their social media links in the description below as well. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I will see you guys with something else. Go watch some horror films, and I will see you next time. Peace!